Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Catching up with Ari Joshua.
Really wanted to talk about all this music that you have been putting out so far this year. I know there's a lot there.
Yeah, there's a lot. First of all, I've always been playing music and writing music and doing recordings. But the industry is a tough industry, and um, it's just like something's happened to me in the last 5 years that's really allowed me to feel like I'm in a good place to kind of um, share everything and just move to the next level. But yeah, as far as things I got, that I put out this year, I released something called Meeting of the Minds, which was with Billy Martin and John Medeski and Jason Fraticelli. And like I could talk for an entire episode just on that experience. It was really, really special. And the artwork's something I really love too. And that was in, that was in February. And in January, I released a song called The Clinic with Ray and Russ from the Trey Anastasio band. I also released in January a tribute song to like Trey Anastasio's composition style called The Prodigy. Also has Ray and Russ on it. And I put out some old music from a band that is still kind of going, but not super strong, called Space Owl. And that's called Why Does Love Always Break Your Heart? That's out there. And then on January 26th, I released something called I Just Called to Soul, I Love You. And that has John Kimock on it, Andy Hess, and Ladin. And I've got more music with all these projects kind of like coming down the pipeline. I also released Fresh in February with Skerik, Delvon, Lamarr, and Grant Schroff. And Lights Out with John Kimock, Andy Hess, and Ed Ladin also. And also the $1,000 Question came out this year. That's also with Ray and Russ. And from the vault, I brought up an old recording with Reggie Watts on it that hadn't been put out. And the most recent thing is out just this Friday. It's called Let's Do It Right Now. And it's a tribute to one of the greatest jazz drummers of all time, Elvin Jones, who played with John Coltrane. I had met him when I was really young and had a big impression. And it was just in the batch of music that I wrote for those guys to do. And that's out today. So, it's a good one to listen to. And that's the music that's just been put out. So
I have so many questions because you're naming, these kind of giants, at least, for me, and I know a lot of people who listen to the show. How do these collaborations come about?
I think everybody has their own path in life, and we all know that life is incredibly complicated and has a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. And I think sometimes just time is always a factor. And I think if you think about like a tree or a plant, a lot of times you don't see what's going on. It's a lot of the work goes under the ground, and every plant and tree has its own arc. And artistically, I guess, as far as just interfacing with the public and sharing stuff, I think my blossoms are just kind of, my fruits are kind of just coming up, and they've been in the works for a long time, and just organically stewing, and these are so each situation is its own story.
Do you want to share like any of those that might be kind of particularly meaningful?
I think it's all tied together, and I think they're all meaningful and fun. The backstory really is just that I grew up, at the time that, grunge was at its peak. That was like when I was, in middle school. And then, it was also the tail end of the Dead, and Fish was kind of on the rise. And there's a lot of living jazz giants on the planet that currently aren't with us, and they're starting to dwindle out. And I just had a really, really strong passion for music and interest in all of this stuff all at once, or all in a really short period of time. And what that led me to was moving to New York, and studying music out there at the New School. And I think a lot of the seeds for the connections that I think seem to be with these people of great stature, are all things that some way or another the seeds were planted for many, 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 many years ago. Like in the case of like recording with Billy and John, when I was in college, I remember asking them if they would come play with me at my cafeteria or at the college. And I was like 19 or something, and I think they were like, what's this kid like wanting to play with us, but I went and saw them like all the time in New York, at the various shows they played, and built a relationship with them. And then, at some point, I would see, I'd see John like on tour, and he'd be like, "What are you up to?" And I'd play him some recordings of stuff I'm doing. And I think also the fact that pandemic happened kind of like reset the table for a lot of things. So, when I went to Vermont to record with Ray and Russ the first time, I also reached out to John, and it was just kind of like, "Hey, I'm on the East Coast. Are you available?" And the timing wasn't good then, but he was interested in, again, listening to the music I was working on. And I think he just, got a chance to listen to it and liked it. And it was something that was brewing for, many years.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.